Hello and welcome to another video for Midas Touch Toys, Games and Collectibles. And today we're looking at something that's now very old. It has become quite collectible and is now becoming harder and harder to find, especially in this condition, which is very, very good condition. We are looking at the 1966 release by TV Century 21, and this was their TV Century 21 special, and it was all tied in to the new motion picture, which was Gerry Anderson's Thunderbirds-Are-Go. Now, this is where Thunderbirds had made the move from the from television, basically, to the big screen, the cinema. And it was the first of two movies which they produced. This was called Thunderbirds-Are-Go, the first one. And then it didn't do very well, to be perfectly honest with you. And they decided to have another go and produce another film which is called Thunderbirds 6, and that also didn't do that particular well. But anyway, Thunderbirds-Are-Go was all based on the TV series. It was produced by Gerry and Sylvia Anderson's company, Century 21 Productions, and it was wrote by the Andersons. And it concerned the spacecraft Zero X on its mission to Mars. Now, Zero X suffers a malfunction during re-entry, and it's up to international rescue with their super high-technologically Thunderbird crafts to rescue the crew from Zero X. So it was, not the best of the Thunderbird stories. It was released on the 12th of December 1966. And the budget for the movie was £250,000. But I've got no idea, unfortunately, how much it actually took at the box office. I can only tell you that it didn't do very well. So it was eventually cut into two halves and became part of the Thunderbirds TV episode collections. But this particular magazine at the time was all based on that upcoming movie. And this is the magazine in front of us. And it says Gerry Anderson's Thunderbirds-Are-Go. And it's got 3 and 6, which was the cover price. And it's got TV Century 21 special. Okay, let's turn it over to the back. And on the back side, we've got an image of Thunderbird 3 taken off and Thunderbird 2 on their launch pad. And it says a Century 21 publication. There is a little bit of pen mark on the back there. I don't think I noticed that before, but it's there anyway. So that's the back cover. There wasn't much of a splone because it's a very thin paperback. So there's a little bit of wear on the edges there, but otherwise it's in very good condition. Okay, let's open it up and let's have a look at what we got inside. Okay, so I've opened the book up and it says Century 21 production. Published by Century 21 Publishing Limited and City Magazine Limited, 167 Fleet Street, London, by arrangement with Century 21 Merchandising Limited, and it's printed in the Netherlands. And you've got Thunderbird 5, Thunderbird 4, Thunderbird 3, Thunderbird 2, and Thunderbird 1 black and white images there. And if I turn the page over, it says Supercar, Fireball, XL Fly, Stingray, and Thunderbirds. If one word was required to cover all these fantastically popular television programs, many viewers, young and old, would think of the word explosion. Personally, I wouldn't, but there we are. That's another word. This is not surprising, for one of the first impressions created by Gerry Anderson's fabulous TV series is the visual effects detonations. But the word has other implications. Beyond that first vital point, puppets made from fiberglass, wood, wire, and wonderful magic explode into life at the passing of each second. Stories blast to new heights of dramatic adventure, like tongues of flames searing into the sky. Mechanical skill erupts to genius and brilliance as the canvas turn. A dedicated and resourceful team has dynamited to success. Yes, explosion is the right word to describe the growth in size and stature of a company that has become one of the largest television film producing organisations in the world. 12 months ago, the fuses were lit beneath another arsenal of gunpowder. The atom of an idea in the mind of Gerry Anderson was to burst into a project that had the force of an atomic bomb on the entertainment world. These smouldering fuses burned down to the flash point. Thunderbirds were ready to explode. From the black and white television screen to the might of full-stage cinema telescope in vivid Technicolor. All systems read green. The firing button has been activated. The explosion is complete, and Thunderbirds are go. So there we are. That was the transition. And it says Destination Mars. Now this gives you a step-by-step story of the actual movie. So you've got the images from the film to accompany it, and it starts giving you the story. So it starts with, it is the 21st century. The first manned flight to Mars is about to begin. At the vast complex known as Glenn Field, 5 men are ready to embark on Earth's most dramatic step to space exploration. For pilot Paul Travers, co-pilot Greg Martin, and space navigator Brad Newman, this is the climax of months of tense and vital training. With the 3 astronauts will travel space scientists Doctors Grant and Pierce. Their vehicle will be the fantastic Zero X, the most advanced spaceship ever designed. The seconds tick past, the controller checks his systems, the scene is set, Glenfield is tense, quiet. Suddenly, a deep rumbling of engines heralds the beginning of the launch of Zero X across the tarmac. A huge white hangar begins to move, sliding back to reveal the gleaming shape of Zero X. Hydraulic jacks turn and lift the craft clear of the apron, ready for the next stage. This is immediate, with the explosion of turbo ramjets lifting body 1, followed by lifting body 2, moves forward the main body and clamps on like a colossal wing. Then it is the turn of the Martian excursion vehicle. The flight deck, once in line, the MEV separates from its housing tower, trundles to the front of Zero X before clamping into position. And there we have it. And there we've got, again, images from the actual movie. And the story carries on. And you've also got some behind-the-scenes issues here. It says Sean Whitaker Cook, one of the visual effects directors, checks a 7-foot-long Zero X model which weighs £50 and costs £2,500 to make. The story carries on, and again, the story continues. David Lane, the director, he's talking about, and you can see the human size and the size of the puppets there that was used in the film. Barry Gray, the musical director, there's a essential part of Thunderbirds is the tremendous music, and that's all about him. And again, the story continues with images from the movie. Derek Madlins, who was the visual effects director. Thunderbird 2 ready to go, and the controllers. And then you've got brains behind Thunderbirds, the liftoff, and you've got the models at the top there. It says many models, one craft. And again, images from the TV series. And you've got the wardrobe designer up there. And you've got, before making an appearance on set, Lady Penelope receives final attention from puppeteer Wendy Webb. Countdown begins as they go off to rescue the Zero X. And again, the story carries on. Again, there's images of the movie being filmed there. And of course, we all know that Cliff Richard and the Shadows were in the movie, and there is Cliff Richard and the Shadows there, and it tells you about how they become about in the there's Hank, the real Hank Marvin with his puppet, and so on. So there's Cliff Richards there with his puppet as well. So there we go. It was interesting times. That was a very young Cliff Richards there, in actual fact. And again, images of the movie, and David Lane, who checks that Cliff Richard Jr. is the correct position to chauffeur Lady Penelope. So it's Cliff Richard driving Lady Penelope there. There we are. And I think that was all part of a dream, actually, from what I can remember of the film. And his MEV attacked by Martian rock snakes, and there's the rock snakes. And quiet game of snooker. The news that Zero X is on the re-entry, then disaster. Launch Thunderbird 2. And that's Thunderbird 2 there in pre-production mode. And there we have Zero X and Thunderbird 2 supporting Zero X from this disaster, to avert this disaster. And they're attaching on to the Zero X, Thunderbird 2, Thunderbird 1, and there's Zero X coming down in rapid descent, and Zero X crashing as it lands. And there's all the fire crew putting out the explosions. And Reg Hill, who was the Deputy Managing Director of Century 21 Organisation. And again, there's images from the show, and a dream comes true as Alan dates Lady Penelope. And then we've got all the cast and crew that have made the movie possible. Incidentally, one of the ones I never knew is Bob Monkhouse there, and he played the part of Brad Noonan. Very clever. Sylvia Anderson up there, as she obviously has voiced Lady Penelope. And yeah, lots of the others there. Shane Rimmer up there, who's Scott Tracy. And yeah, I mean, there's lots of the people that actually done the voices on there. So terrific information, behind the scenes bits of pieces there. Okay, that is the TV 21 special for the Thunderbirds-Are-Go movie. So I hear you ask me, how well did this magazine do back in the day? Well, it done okay. It didn't do as well as I think everyone expected it to do. And I think there was a big emphasis on these magazines being sold when the movie hit the cinema screen. And of course, they was expected to have people queuing around the block for the Thunderbirds movie as it hit the cinema screens, and sadly that didn't happen. Although there was a fair turnout for the movie, it certainly didn't make any money. It was a bit of a flop. And then, of course, then they went on to do the second film, Thunderbirds 6. They did try promoting Thunderbirds-Are-Go heavily. The Andersons went around, done a countrywide tour trying to promote the movie, but the interest was only lukewarm. The box office revenue was only mediocre. It really didn't make the money that it was expected to make. So consequently, it didn't do anything. It didn't make them billionaires, which is what they expected. They expected it to be absolutely huge, bigger than the Bond franchise, but sadly that didn't happen. So consequently, I don't think these magazines done as well as what was expected. Also, as the film flopped, I think the magazines did as well. So yeah, they didn't really do that particularly well. So let's move on now. Let's move on. We're 59 years from 1966 to 2025, which is where we are today. Do they come up for sale very often on platforms? And the answer to that is, yeah. I mean, you do see a fair amount of these on the platforms in various different states of condition, of course. Some of them are very, very poor. Some of them are good. Some of them are okay. And again, with these magazines, comics, books, it is all about condition. The better condition, the more enjoyment that you get with your comic or magazine. Yes, they come up on the platforms. Be very careful when you buy on a platform, because condition can vary. One person's idea of very good could be another person's idea of it's acceptable. So again, just be very vigilant. And if you are going to buy on a platform, make sure you click the used button so you can actually see what you're actually going to buy, or read the description of what you're actually going to buy, because a lot of them use stock photographs and descriptions, and you don't want to end up with something that you didn't want. So just be a bit careful. Or alternatively, we at Midas Touch, we don't believe in all that rubbish. we don't believe in stock photographs, full stop. So what you see on our website is exactly the item that you will be receiving. And if we've got more than one, you'll see multiple images of them on the platform. If we've got different conditions, well, then there's a completely different item. So we do not use the same item for different conditions. Now, this particular item, as of today, it is available to purchase on the Midas Touch website, and we do have a few copies of these. And you can get to the Midas Touch website very simply by clicking the link below. It will take you straight to the website, and you'll be able to find this and many, many other vintage Gerry Anderson items, and many other vintage toys, games and collectibles come to that. It's over 10,000 products currently available on the website for you to view and purchase at your leisure. And don't forget to hit the subscribe button, because we're uploading videos for every new item that goes to the website. There will be something for everybody, and I am absolutely positive that this is something that you will not want to miss, because we literally have thousands and thousands of new items which we're shooting videos for and uploading on a daily basis. So if there is something in particular you are looking for, something old that you've never been able to find, something quirky that you might want to buy for a friend, or maybe just something from your childhood that you'd like to own again to help you recuperate those long lost childhood memories, well, stay tuned, keep watching, because you never know the next item we upload could be that item you've been looking for. Okay, that is it for me on this particular item. I do hope you enjoyed reviewing this wonderful, wonderful old Thunderbirds-Are-Go movie tie-in special with me. Thank you for watching, and we will see you again next video. So bye for now.